Good morning, students. I am Thiyagaraja, Assistant Professor, BG Department of History. Now we are going to discuss about the archaeology. The archaeology is an important concept of history. Today, history is a vital role played by the archaeological sources because of the archaeological remains to refresh the past historical events. For example, in Tamil Nadu is concerned, 2014, that year the Tamil Nadu, particularly the Madurai, history of Madurai was refreshment by the Kiladi archaeological excavation. So that like the history is a vital role played by the archaeological survey. So in this connection, we are going to see the two artifacts and the fossils. These are the very essential elements for the archaeological remains. What is mean fossil? Fossil is nothing but fossils are remains of living things, plants, animals, peoples, not of things that were mad. You know one thing, long ago, that long ago, some peoples had lived in some different places. For example, you know one thing, an Neyveli, K Lignite Corporation, here there. It is available of the lignite, so it is a kind of basils. So it is how that source of lignite be available now. It is thousands of years ago, very broad forest to any one natural calamity lead to submerge or engulf or the earthquake. So that like natural calamity affected that, and after takes his own time of processing of under the earth, so it's now available of the lignite, so that is called nilakari, you know one thing. So that like that is called basils. Okay, what is the next one is the artifacts. Artifacts is nothing but once come you have to travel any one village side or urban side. You have seen the in and around of two sides of the roads. So the people's already utilized some wooden sills, some grinders. That grinder means ural, the battery, manbandangal. So these are the wastages at present now because we have changed our civilized society. Once that people using the soil, the battery as a primary vessel for producing foods and other eating items. But now the people's using the aluminum, copper, and iron and plastics. So these were materials to using now. So the battery and the grinder, the man-made grinder, these are these at present last stage. So these are the throw out or the throw out on the roadsides. So these remains in just a few hundred years back or few thousand years back, it is an artifact. It is become as an artifact. So if anyone excavation or people to construct the house or anyone other renovating things of that region, so that content to take over, to expose the outside. So these are the artifact that people were used to these things as like. So on the one things, um, the battery, the human already dead body burial grounds. So the battery, that means uh, uh, big size battery to made by the human beings when that people to die to their uh, accommodate the inside of the battery, and what that people should like things is, and that people utilizing and using things is are also everything to put inside that battery and close it. So after 20, after the 100 years, 150 years, like that, now we are excavating any one purpose to like house construction, like that. So that time we have to easily to take over this and to see that people's the skeleton inside of the battery things is like. So these are the artifacts. Okay, now we are going to see that what is a site. Site is a very essential one for the archaeological excavation, because all the sites are not available the archaeological survey. Archaeological survey means nothing but one thing, one place we have, for example, if we take bore water, the bore water is not available all the places. So there is mechanically or man-made some technically to search the water, and if it is available that particular point of that position or point of that around region, so that place mark and to boring that take over the water. So this is the system of doing the um, boring water. Similarly, the archaeological sites also, the we have discovered it. How we discover the site? Some places of that around the region of construct that houses or any one the open air places, it is the wastages and the broken and some remains of the things is to scattered on the earth. So that things is to take over by some well-wishers of historical knowledge, well-wishers of the historical students, professors, and some willing fellows to take and gather these things, and they are find out here is the past artifacts available in and around region. So it is if we have, we will be excavate this region. We have available get more information regarding that our past. So that like people to decide that. So the site is a place archaeologist which to explore. At the site of archaeologist, literally tick looking for the remains of ancient civilizations. That is why they call the site at which they are working a dig. One is digging that. So the digging on that particular point of that places to automatically take over that. The finding the sites. The finding the sites, we have no, every civilization is born in the river bank. It is a natural one. It is a universal fact also. So during the time of that people lived the river bank, the left or right side of that people, they lived, they are well settled people. That means available water sources. They are related to cultivating, and they are first of all that the human beings considered as a wanderer. Then they're moving place from one place to another place to gathering for their food and other things. And later, when we settled in the river bank, automatically the searching or gathering food peoples to settle to producing peoples. So that producing people to automatically to establish some they utilize the water sources for the producing of their food crops, so that gradually developing the agricultural sectors. So when the people do exceeding or they're utilizing cereals, it is used for the commercial activities. So that it used the river as a way of traveling to sail the other river, another side of river banks and the other areas. So that like developed the trade and commercial activities. So the finding a site, the site finding is another one things. So they have some techniques. The check out the report of the artifacts that have been discovered. The artifacts have been discovered by the frames and construction companies while working at their jobs. Even no one thinks the common man, the common people, does not to easily to engaging in the digging work, because it has some pre-plan, some structural to construct before digging that region, and what are the elements or artifacts to discover that, and how to the uh, undamaged of that artifacts to recover by the archaeologist. So these kinds of approaches to gradually and well technically to prepare by only that archaeologist and their particular team of works. So in this condition, they check their land from the earth, looking for a large depressions that could be the reign of an ancient living areas. For example, well, for Kiladi, it is one of the example of at present archaeological survey in the river bank of Vaigai. So it is one of the civilized society that people lived that destination. That archaeological site to take over some artifacts and some like uh, uh, well, the boring well means the some structural approaches to layer by layer of that construct that easily to output of the wastage water and digging to the earth from the boring water, so that like very systematically constructed that region. And even some artifacts there people the entertainmently they are playing some playing system of that artifacts also available there. So these were to take over by that time. They used the scientific instruments like radar and sonar to look for ruins. One things on the earth of the artifacts is easily to easily realize that, but under the earth, if these items, artifacts, or fossils are available under the earth, it is possible, it is available. So that questions arise among the archaeologists. So that time, that archaeologist Well, technically, to utilize that system of approach, one is that the radar is using by that people, the archaeologists, archaeological experts, and the sonar system in that measure under the deep root of that region. So easily find out that available or not available that artifact or fossils under the earth. So automatically, if it is not available, the further work will be started by that archaeologists to digging and get that the things as to from the earth. Next one is the permission to dig. All the digging of that elements is not possible one. First of all, it has some procedures to get permission from that region, and that around some restrictions is also there. First of all, if it is that place of archaeological survey land, if it is a private land, then we want to get the permission to that private owners. One. Another things, if it is that government land, we want to systematically to prepare some letters from the public and scholars, and write to the systematical approach of the higher authority of district wise and the state wise and the national wise to applying state archaeological survey, national archaeological survey. So this finally to gathering some our reports or our petitions to finally analyze, given that permission to the government, and after we have to receive the archaeological work, the learn with other idea archaeologists to bring that explore the areas. They look for evidence that people once lived that area. The evidence include the fossils and the artifacts to get in. Creed and labeling. You know, all the things is not easily to take over easily, because it has some systematic approach. That means if it's available the artifacts and the fossils in particular zone or particular region, if it is not too easily to take over that, because of that's places to uh, marking. Marking means survey by some system of measuring by archaeologists, and that square and rectangle shape and square shape and elliptical shape, so that like that people will draw it, and it is used to do marking that particular zone and grade to that these zones gradually, and the ticking that grades and automatically to undamaged to take over the artifacts and fossils from the earth. So it is a very helpful for the take over the things. If you example for you have to see any one time in the Kiladi archaeological excavation site, and anyone archaeological excavation site in the television. So we have to seen that digging that ground by the square shape and square by square. So we are easily to visible that layer of layers to some artifacts to attach with the soils and bring out from the soils. So that like some systematically helpful to bring out that the things is from the inside of the grief of the soils to bring systematically remove from these particular artifacts. So the rules are used for as a sometimes very simple rules, including the drowners, brushes, spoons, and one thing, brushes is very important. One thing, well, for example, some all the facts things has to already to mingle with the soils, mingle with the soil creeps, because of long ago, it is mixed with the soils. So that time we are not easily to bring out it. because it is attached to with the soils. So we gradually to used to pressing that particular soil, and gradually ruin that soils, and automatically that the battery or that the fossils or artifacts to easily bring out the full shape or the broken shape. So there is a very very important one. The search each grade very carefully, digging at the site at that a careful work of the archaeological excavation. Back in the lab, another one things, it is a very very essential among that scholars uh, in beyond or in before we have seen all the layers of works. It is only for collecting the sources or data or sorry artifacts and fossils, but it is that brew of time beings. It is a very very important for the historical landmarks, and the so utilize the artifacts and basils. It is very helpful in the historical point of view to measure the time scale and times capsules of the decide or define the peoples, those who lived in this region how many years back. So this point of view, the time scales to fixing by that artifacts through the laboratory. So once the objects are labeled to the remove from the sites, take and taken a lab to reliable and placed into the database. The archaeologists used into information to put together the pieces of the past. It takes a crack to deal to the education, training, patient, and the attention to the detailed to work as an archaeologist. So they are using some artifacts to utilize to some techniques in the modern science laboratory. So that laboratory to using some systematic of helpful to some chemicals to add, and that remains concept to remaining things is to burn, or either it's wood or soil or anyone things is to broken piece and burning and take over that ash, and other things is to apply some chemicals. It changes its colors, so that colors to define the variation of gradually changes that color to easily find out the time scales. So this is that is called simply said carbon 14 dating. So this is a very very important in the historical point of view. Okay, now we are. What is it? The job in archaeologist is a cried deal like the job of the detective. Here are some buzzing for that solve. You know one thing, the students, the archaeological survey is a very eminent role to design and write the history. It is one kind of the enthusiastically to engage this work. Okay, because of we have discovered our past, we have design our past, we have take over our past. So that like the archaeological survey is a play a vital role for the every historical concept. This backbone of historical writing in the primary sources aspects. Thank you. Thank you. 1 second.